I was privileged to enter Prophet KAKANDE'S office, and I want to share with you my experience. It's a wonderful experience. And now, before I begin, I'd like to let you know that to see the prophet in the office, you don't pay, because there are people say that you pay something, you don't pay, and there are no bookings. You don't book. You don't organize anything. You don't organize anything. There's no lobby. It's just by the grace of God. I was able to meet the prophet in his office by the grace of God. So before you embark on this journey, if you want to go to Kampala, to the KAKANDE Ministries, kindly pray. Pray, spend time with God. Ask God to go before you. Ask for the power of God, to locate you, to give you favor. And then you will be able to meet the prophet in his office. But if you just go with your mind, you say, I'll just go and do this, maybe you may not be able to see him, and you'll be disappointed. But for me, I want to give you the experience. What happened when I met? What happens when you enter Prophet KAKANDE'S office? Watch this video till the end. Hello guys, thanks for watching. I'm Cleophas Wanyama, Cleo with him, and this is Christian Media, where we bring you news, commentaries, Bible-based teachings, gospel music, plus many more. And if you want to donate to this ministry to support us financially, use the information on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. So guys, I was there in this office. Before I tell you, I want to give you a brief history of why I found myself in that office. Now, I don't know, it was last year, it's last year, not wrong, 2022. I had a dream. I had a prophetic dream. And the Prophet KAKANDE appeared to me in a dream. And we were outside the church gate, the church entrance. And I met the prophet. And he told me that, go and wait for me on the altar. That was a dream, or it was a vision. He told me, go inside and wait for me on the altar. That was a dream. So I knew that I had to go to meet him. So you see, for me meeting the prophet in his office, it was already ordained. Understand? Because he had already appeared to me in the dream. It was something which was ordained, not something which I just went on my own will, went on my own planning. Oh, it was the will of God. God had gone before me, because he had appeared to me in the dream, said, go and wait for me in the altar. And I went. Now, this is why I went there. And when you enter that office, there's so much power in that office. You can hardly stand. It will only take the grace of God for you to stand. There is so much power in that office. It's a very simple office. It's not a fancy office. There is so much power. You can hardly stand. You can just feel there is power in this place. You can just feel it. If you are there and maybe you are under attack, that attack will leave you instantly. There's so much power. So I wasn't alone. I was with some of my colleagues who had come from the US, because we were going on a mission. After that, there's a video which I posted on the mission. We went to Uganda and Kenya. I went to my village. It's there on my channel. You can check it out. So we had gone for the impartation. So the prophet had called us for a special impartation as we embark on our journey. So I went to that office, and literally I was standing, but I was seeing myself going to fall. But it was only the grace of God which just held me. Understand? And the prophet just, stretched his hands upon us, and there was so much power. The prophet is not somebody who chats a lot. And I'll like to tell you that when you go to his office, when you get a privilege to enter Prophet KAKANDE'S office, don't try to tell him your problems. Anytime you meet a prophet knows what to tell you. Don't tell them things. Oh, my school fees. Oh, my job. Oh, my finances. Oh, my marriage. No, don't stop it. You'll end up annoying the prophet. When you meet any prophet, wait for him to speak to you. He has a word for you. And whatever he may tell you, that could be the root cause of your problem. So for you are there looking for school fees, you want job promotion, not knowing what is the root cause of your problem. So when you enter the prophet office, keep quiet. Let him talk to you. He'll talk to you, and then he'll pray for you. So we were there. We were imparted by the prophet, and he gave us a spiritual material, very powerful. And after that, we left the office. Now, what happened after that? The whole of that day, I remember it was on a Tuesday. I went back to my hotel room. I and my colleagues and my friends, and the whole of that day, I can remember my blood was just boiling. Have you ever had this feeling of like you have malaria, that feverish, but it's not a bad fever? It's not like the fever which you get like you're shaking. No, it's not a bad fever. It's a good, I don't know how I can put it. It's like a good fever. You feel you feel the currents of electricity. I was feeling that for the whole that day. I tried to lie on my bed. I couldn't lie down. There was so much. I was just on fire. That the whole of that day I was just reading the Bible because something was imparted into my spirit. Something strong was imparted into my spirit when I entered that office. The Bible says, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. I would like to emphasize Christians to study, because it is ignorance which is keeping many Christians in bondage. The Bible says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now, years ago in 2018, God gave me a revelation to write 3 ebooks. The first one is called The Star, the Mystery Behind Extreme Success. This book tends to teach about star. This book about the star teaches you about the star so that you can understand what does the Bible say concerning stars. There are a lot of erroneous teachings out there about the star, but this book gives you a biblical sound knowledge about the teaching of the star, the secret to extreme success. In this book, you're going to learn how to make your star shine. You're going to learn secrets to unlock your destiny. Get this book. The second book is called Understanding the Mystery of Times and Seasons, where I teach about times and seasons and how to discern the seasons and the timings which you are in. This book is powerful. It's going to unlock a lot of potentials in you. And the last one is called Thrones. Thrones is a very powerful book where I teach about altars, gates, and covenants. It's a very powerful book. These 3 combination will help you and will equip you to become a better Christians. To get this book, you get it when you donate to us amount of $20. When you donate $20 or more, and you send me the email, I'll get you this book. I'll send these 3 ebooks in your email, and it will bless you, and your life will never be the same again. Thank you. There was so much power. So I could not, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat. I was just, in the presence of God. There was like currents of electricity. That thing continued the whole day. The whole day. It was an encounter of a lifetime. So that's my experience. I don't know what may happen to you when you go and meet the prophet in the office. Maybe yours might be different, but that was my experience. Now, concerning what I felt is, I believe there was something I was supposed to receive. Growing up, I was so much into the teaching ministry. I grew up in Winners Chapel. Winners Chapel is founded by Bishop Oyedepo. He's all over the place. And Winners Chapel is a teaching ministry. I served in Winners Chapel all my life. But most of the time when I visited Kampala for holidays, we I visit my relatives. We used to visit the KAKANDE ministry because I used to stay at Kalerwe there. And but in most of the time I was in Winners Chapel, and I grew up in the teaching ministry. I also did the Bible college. I graduated the WOFB. But now a time came where God was now saying, I want to bring into the prophetic, and to operate into the prophetic ministry. Understand? Because I was meant to operate in the prophetic ministry. Now, when I started operating the prophetic, I was so much drawn to TB Joshua, Prophet TB Joshua. And I was watching TB Joshua, I was so much following TB Joshua. Now, the day it was time for first I had organized for my mom to travel to Scotland, and then I go later. Now, the day when my mother was supposed to travel to the Scotland, there was COVID. That was the day there were lockdown, so she couldn't travel. And after COVID, many things happened. The prophet went to be with the Lord. Understand? But now, what I know is that God is a God of dimensions, and is a God of a system. What God had put in Prophet TB Joshua, he had deposited it in Prophet KAKANDE. Prophet KAKANDE operates the mantle of Prophet TB Joshua. These things are batons. They are being passed from generation to generation. TB Joshua was the founder of this dimension. This dimension of that, the power which you see KAKANDE operating in that dimension, TB Joshua was the one who came with it. Understand? In the same way, when the Archbishop Benson Idausa is the one who came with the teaching dimension of prosperity. All those ministers, Bishop Oyedepo, Pastor Chris, all of them learned from Archbishop Benson Idausa. They were sons of Archbishop Benson Idausa. Now, the same way, TB Joshua came with the prophetic dimension. And now, because TB Joshua had gone, but before he had gone, he had already deposited it in Prophet KAKANDE. So for me to operate into that dimension, I had to encounter either Prophet TB Joshua or Prophet KAKANDE. But because Prophet TB Joshua was gone, that's why I had that prophetic dream. Prophet KAKANDE telling me, go and wait for me on the altar. And that's where I went to Kampala. And that's where I tapped from the prophetic. So whatever was operating in TB Joshua, deposited in KAKANDE, was also deposited in me. That was an impartation. So I'm very happy about that. It was a very wonderful experience, and I know great and mighty things are ahead of us. So guys, thanks for watching. If you want to go to KAKANDE Ministries, you're welcome. You're going to experience the power of God. You're going to experience life-changing testimonies, that I believe the life will never be the same again. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.